I love those J-I-N-G.
Hello, it's me, it's Santa Jew. That's right, I gotta do both. Budget cuts. Can you imagine this? Kazai? I'm sitting there, I'm Harry Hanukkah one day, I wake up, then I'm Santa Claus. Then the guy gets canned and they're like, hey, you got more moxie. You got a little more zhuzh. You know, you got a little more chutzpah to you. Why don't you just do both? So now I'm Santa Jew. Hey, vey. What is this? Let's get this song. Get rid of that. Get over here.
Put on your yarmulke. Here comes Hanukkah. So
Oh, yeah, the Sandler fella. He's good. He's funny. I didn't know some of these people were Jewish. All right. Where's my phone? I got to read this shit. Okay. You're listening to the Scott and Tim Sports Show. I gotta go. When can AI do this shit for me? I'm done.
when you feel like the only kid in town without a Christmas tree, here's a list of people who are Jewish, just like you and me. David Lee Roth lights the menorah. So do James Conn, Kirk Douglas, and the late Dinah Shore. Guess who eats together at the Carnegie Deli? Bowser from Sha-Na-Na and Arthur Fonzarelli. Paul Newman's half Jewish. Goldie Hawn's half too. Put them together, what a fine-looking Jew. You don't need deck the halls or Jingle Bell Rock, 'cause you can spin a dreidel with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, both Jewish. Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah. The owner of the Seattle Supersonicas celebrates Hanukkah. O.J. Simpson, not a Jew. But guess who is? Hall of Famer Rod Carew. He converted. We got Ann Landers and her sister, dear Abby. Harrison Ford's a quarter Jewish, not too shabby. Some people think that Ebenezer Scrooge is. Well, he's not, but guess who is? All three Stooges. So many Jews are in showbiz. Tom Cruise isn't, but I heard his agent is. Tell your friend Veronica, it's time to celebrate Hanukkah. I hope I get a harmonica on this lovely, lovely Hanukkah. So drink your gin and tonica and smoke your marijuana. If you really wanna have a happy, 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 happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
And there you have it. Welcome into the holiday special, the Boyle Theater. What'd you think of that song? You've heard that song, right?
I have. It's awesome, though. Basically, what they're saying is everybody, all the celebrities are Jewish, except for like 3 of them.
Not Tom Cruise. I heard his agent is.
All the agent. What agent isn't?
Oh, my God. Welcome into the holiday
Hold on,
special
hold
here.
on.
Oh, yeah.
Alexa, continue.
Oh,
There we go.
We got music. I don't know if it's going to pick it up.
You know, we'll turn it up at the break.
Yeah,
if it doesn't.
we will. Anyway, welcome to the Boyle Theater. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle here, ladies and gentlemen. On the YouTube, just a reminder, we're on the YouTube. Go to STSPN. Go to that YouTube channel. I think we had 17 views or something.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
We're not known for our YouTube, though.
We're not yet.
Yeah, but we're going to go.
And I don't know why you'd want to see this.
Well, we have the faces for radio.
Yes, we do.
That's why we don't normally have it.
Thank you. That was cruel and unusual.
Thank you. Yeah.
Anyway,
this is
that
actually,
was a fun open. Did you like
I loved
Santa
it.
Jew?
Well,
Can
you
you-
got the BY Jew now, and you
Yeah.
got Santa Jew.
Yeah, I mean budget cuts. This is a Shonda.
Completely.
He woke up very Hanukkah.
Speaking of budget cuts, why is Hanukkah like at like a week after Christmas this year? Where's the marketing department?
The marketing departments. We got to.
I was looking on the calendar because I wanted to make sure I wished you a happy Hanukkah, and it's like not till like January 17th or something.
We got to get Abe Rabinowitz on the show again.
Completely.
I think he has some questions to answer.
Like who are the powers that be that decided it was going to be like after Christmas this year?
I'm telling you, it's the worst marketing department of all time.
It is.
It's historically bad.
This is actually an emergency holiday pod.
Is it?
Oh yeah, because of all the crap that's going on.
Well, yeah. Plus, you're in town.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, I'm gonna enjoy those beers. You got the 100,000.
That's a little bit of a gray area. We'll have to discuss that in the bonus section. That is a gray area.
You know, I'm on an existential threat roll.
Okay,
you have it
go
down
ahead.
on the list.
You go ahead. I've got one too.
You want me to start?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what my you go ahead means.
Thank you. Okay, my threat. I think this is becoming more and more, and I'm really bad. I don't know if your daughters are good. Annabelle's really great at taking video in public of people.
Oh, I don't.
Doing inconspicuous, like doing
like
it
incognito.
Yeah. I'm terrible at it.
Oh, you know why? Because kids can get to their video in like 1 second. If you said, Tim, take a video, it's going to take me like 30 seconds. Okay, let me turn my phone on. And
I know.
the kids can be recording in like 2 seconds.
And it's insane. So we're out to lunch at that Fieldhouse place at Central Market, the restaurant. It's really good. Actually,
we ate there once.
It's not cheap as usual.
Well, it's Central Market.
Yeah, but it over delivers. Anyway, we're sitting there, and I'm not kidding you. Okay, this is the threat. People who are FaceTiming somebody else in public and has the speakerphone on, not their AirPods. We had this couple in there, and they're like literally going back and forth. The woman's like, Judy, try this one on. Try this one on. And she's like, and you can hear the lady and whatever. And then the husband's like out of frame and like embarrassed. And he's like on the other side of the table. And she's like, Stan, come over here. Do you like Judy in this one?
Were they Jewish or something? You're talking like a Jewish person.
Everybody's Jewish.
Okay.
In my little fantasy world, everybody was. No, they're not. I don't know if they were or not. But she comes over, this woman, and the woman is like, yeah, Judy, take that one back. No, keep that one. That looks good. And we're sitting there at a table like right next to them. All of this is going on. What is going on? What is happening?
You need to see, the problem is you. Society doesn't correct these people. Not you specifically, but because I had this as an existential threat like several years ago, like when I'm at the gym. Yes.
Oh yeah, when you're
I'm
at the gym and people
are like on the elliptical next to me and they're FaceTiming and having a conversation.
What is going on with your microphone?
We'll have to check this.
We'll have our engineers check it. You're good.
But in fact, I said something to the person because their face. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I go, do you not have any gym etiquette?
Yeah.
You should not be FaceTiming in the gym.
How about restaurant etiquette?
Yeah, it's bad. It's like an invasion of privacy because if they're on FaceTime, that means you're part of the recording.
I have a completely different approach than you. Like you went over to the guy and like tried to pick a fight with him.
No,
and like,
I
hey,
didn't try to pick a fight.
You mind? Is this okay? You're FaceTiming? See, I wanted to go photobomb and like insert myself in the conversation to Judy, who was trying on clothes apparently.
Did you do that?
No, because
then you didn't do anything.
Well, I was with the wife.
What does that matter?
Well, she wasn't. I suggested that, and that didn't get many votes.
No.
Anyway,
that's a semi decent.
It's not. You know what? Now that I said it, it's terrible. I could cut it.
Oh no, I think you got to leave it.
What's yours?
Mine is the freaking owner of the Mystics in the WNBA.
Oh yeah, but yes.
Okay, for Caitlin Clark gets Time Female Athlete of the Year.
Yes,
pretty much a no brainer, right? I mean, she's probably the most popular, other than Taylor Swift. She's the most popular female on the planet right
no
now.
Brainer.
What she's done to the WNBA and basketball, and for what she's done in women's sports in general. How many more people are watching women's sports now because of Caitlin Clark? It's
astronomical.
Yeah, and they did that whole economy thing on how much Caitlin Clark's really worth to the WNBA. Remember you sent me that article, or did Mark send us that article
I don't
on
remember.
what her real net worth is to?
Oh yeah.
And it's like
$1
billions.
billion. It's $1 billion. Yeah.
And they're paying her like $70,000 a year.
Yeah.
But the owner of the Mystics actually takes exception with her getting female athlete of the year.
Crazy.
She should be fine. The WNBA should kick her out of the league. She literally said, why should she get it? They should put the whole WNBA on the cover.
Seriously,
it's like, it's not a group award. It's a individual award, and she deserves it like 1,000 times more than any other female.
Yes, and her and Cheryl Swoops need to just go off and live in their island, wherever that is, because she was like the GM, or is she?
She's the owner.
Good Lord.
She's the owner of the Mystics, Sheila Johnson.
Lord. And by the way, in the Time article, Caitlin Clark goes out of her way, as she does, because she's just that good and that above everything, to credit the people who created the league and started the league, and all of the people in front of her and who created the fountain. All that, she goes out of her way to do that.
She went a little too far. She started saying about the white privilege and stuff, and it's like, you don't need to go. You don't need to bow down
about that.
You don't need to bow down to anybody. She's earned that.
I think she answered everything exactly above board. She's got wisdom beyond her years.
I agree.
She's terrific.
She basically avoids these controversies really well.
Because that's not what she does it for. She wants to play basketball.
Correct.
That's all she cares about. That's all Michael Jordan cared about. That's all Larry Bird cared about. That's all Magic. These people, it's the media and the outside world. They blend them in. We basically take all their shit and we project it into our shit.
Correct.
So... and she just stays above the fray, if you want to say it, or below the fray. And yes, that woman,
she is Sheila Johnson. You are an existential threat. You should be banned from. Yes,
I don't even remember her name.
She's again the owner of the Mystics, and she's basically bitter about the whole thing. And it's like, how much has she done for the WNBA?
But this is what I don't understand. These people. First of all, don't you have any PR departments, or you have? Like, what does this? There's no productivity to that. There's literally that just is not going to do anything.
No, it's actually moving them backwards.
Yeah.
If Caitlin Clark wasn't in the WNBA this year, it would still be. What are they going to be on the cover for? Losing money for like 25 years in a row?
Yeah.
That's what they want to be on the cover for?
Yes, they were right. Anyway, it's ridiculous. That is a ridiculous one. I don't know if she's an existential threat, but I agree. I'm with you.
She is, because I said she was.
That is true. And we really,
it's not as much as your FaceTime thing where you got to like.
It's just people are just have no public privacy. I don't know. We're all in everyone's world.
Apparently.
So anyway.
Okay, let's take a quick.
But I'm out of beer. You out of beer already?
Yeah, so let's take a quick little break.
I just want to give a quick shout out. Do you mind? First of all, can we do a weather update?
Yeah.
Okay. Partly to mostly shitty with a chance of shitty, and the 10-day forecast looks pretty shitty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rain basically every day.
Shout out Rich Bardu, new to the Faithful 48, who has a home in Arizona, but he's here. Rich,
what's he doing up here?
Rich, what are you doing? Why are you here?
Well, maybe because of the holidays.
Get out of here. What are you doing, Rich? He's got a bum leg, so let's wish him well. He hurt his leg. Well,
maybe he can't be on the plane.
He can. He came from Arizona here. My point to him is I come in the door and it's piss and rain. It's just disgusting outside. Rich, what are you doing? Why are you here? Okay, that's it. And we can take a break.
All right.
We'll be back with... I don't even want to get into this. I'm exhausted for this next topic.
You're already exhausted from the first one.
I am.
Guten Tag und Grüß Gott from Bavaria. This is Randy from Neunkirchen, Germany, and you're listening to the Scott and Tim Sports Show.
And you would be there too.
Oh, nice. A little Taylor Swift impression there from Tim Boyle.
I'm just like her.
I don't know if you can hear the holiday music.
They have to be able to.
How much pride do you take in your holiday playlist?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the absolute highest, 10.
10? You're like a 15.
I said 10 being the absolute highest.
You should see him at holiday parties like, oh, you want to check out my playlist? You should see have you heard my playlist?
Well, I bring it on a cassette tape.
Yeah, and then any song that's playing at any party he's at, he's like, oh, I got that one on my playlist.
But it's got auto reverse.
What? Oh,
don't you remember on the cassette auto reverse? You could automatically play the other side. Come on, aren't you? You're old enough to remember that, aren't you?
Oh, easily. I remember 8 tracks.
Oh yeah,
like actually pretty vividly. Okay, let's go into. I got to grab my beer. I put it on the other table. Let's go into the Cougs. This is a moment of silence. Okay, I did a recording earlier today as we record this on what is this? The 19th of December.
Yes.
For Puck Sports Tomorrow's Friday voicemail, and it's basically a condolence letter to Jim Moore and Jason Puckett about the whole Dickert, Mateer, the absolute, just another devastating blow to your Cougs.
Thank you. Are you going to play the clip?
No, we'll explain what happened.
Well, geez, where do I start? Let's see. Okay, so the Cougs, ever since the transfer portal that
I think you got to go back to. So we have no conference.
Yeah, first there's no conference, right? We got. And by the way, I still do not understand that at all. The Cougs were in the top half of the Pac-12 in ratings and everything. Their brand was strong, like you've mentioned many times.
Unbelievable.
Oregon State, I can kind of see their brand wasn't as strong.
But
still, the Cougs, it makes no sense that they just got left holding the bag.
Like Arizona's brand is big.
And by the way, John Wilner completely 100% blames the Huskies. He does. He does. The whole collapse is all on the Huskies.
Okay.
But anyway,
again,
they lose their conference.
The presidents are idiots. Larry Scott's an idiot. But really, I put the blame on the presidents, to be honest.
Oh, completely. I think the Coug president,
whoever.
Yeah, the Coug president's was probably the most guilty out of all.
Schultz is an idiot.
Completely.
Guess what? He's still there.
Well, apparently he's retiring after this year.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah, thank God. But then you got Pat Chung who leave. He pretends like he's in it. He's in it for the long haul, and our athletic director leaves. And where does he go? He goes to UW, of all places.
Unbelievable.
And then Kalen DeBoer and Jen Cohen, who are really kind of the architects of UW, them wanting to go into the Big Ten. I don't know how much you've read about that.
Yeah, no, I read about it.
Kalen DeBoer and Jen Cohen were like massively.
Yeah.
They were two of the biggest influencers on that. And they both leave right afterwards. Yeah. So then we lose Pat Chung. Then last year we lose Cam Ward, who was one of the best quarterbacks in the country, ended up finishing third this year
but
in the Heisman.
Yes. Did we really think he was that good when he left? No.
No, but still, he
turned out to be
Miami offered him a ton of money, and he went there.
Yep.
Then the Coug basketball team makes the NCAA tournament finally.
Was that last year?
Yeah, last year. And then their coach decides to leave, and half the guys transfer.
Yeah.
So there was that.
Kevin Smith.
And then this year we have, of course, Mateer just entered the
Johnny
Mateer, who's who led the nation in touchdowns combined, running and throwing. And number 2 was Cam Ward, by the way, in touchdowns. So both those quarterbacks lead the nation. They're both Cougs that are both being stolen from other teams. So you got that plus 20 other players entered the transfer portal, including today the Coach Dickert's gone, the running back coach is gone, our starting running back's gone, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, running backs coach, quarterback coach. It's a disaster. Every 5 minutes, somebody else is entering the transfer portal.
I hope somebody's on ZipRecruiter or Indeed looking to fill these spots.
Well, now the problem is they're probably not going to be able to play in the bowl game.
But the president came out yesterday. The AD and the president came out yesterday and said, "Oh no, we're playing. We're going to play."
Yeah, I mean that's their goal, but it may not happen. They don't even they don't have anybody.
So, but
their team's gone.
I understand.
Their coaches are gone.
And first of all, Mateer takes reportedly $3 million. I haven't seen anything to justify that.
I keep hearing it's $3 million. The Cougs had a 7-figure offer.
$1 million offer.
$1 million.
So hold on. Mateer is like, I love it here. They're the only offer me, blah, blah, blah. This place means a lot to me, blah, blah, blah. And then see you later.
Yeah.
Which now it turns out that's been in the works for like a month.
Oh,
because the offensive coordinator goes to Oklahoma, Arbuckle or whatever.
He leaves. Yep. And
so this is not uncommon. Let's just
it's uncommon to lose everybody on your team and all the coaches. That's kind of uncommon.
That's uncommon. Okay, I'm just talking about Mateer. I'm talking about the tampering. I'm talking about him doing this deal probably a month ago and doesn't go public with it?
Well, first of all, it is tampering because Mateer never entered the transfer portal. They were making him offers,
and this happens all the time. You heard the Colorado State guy Jay Novrell go off about this. This is happening rampantly.
You're not supposed to be making offers to players unless they're in the transfer portal. But obviously that's not stopping it because there is literally no rules on this.
There's no rules. Okay.
Zero.
But the thing is, and Mateer's a 20-year-old kid or whatever, 21. I don't know how old he is. But okay, you give him a little bit of grace with that. Fine. He leaves. That sucks. Okay. Then let's talk about Dickie Dickert. Okay, let's talk about the Dick Dickert.
You mean talk about him, how he talks about loyalty and kept bringing up loyalty.
This is what drives me crazy with all the coaches, and I empathize, and it's different but the same. I empathize because when I told you, I wasn't born a Husky. I didn't go there. I'm an adopted Husky, and I got sucked into DeBoer's North Dakota, South Dakota, gee shucks. I'm different. You think he's a little different, like he's not going to be like the rest of them and just go for the money and the glory and the ego, right? He brought me in, and then he just killed us all. And then I feel the same thing with Dickert.
Dickert's way worse.
And
way worse.
I agree because Jason Puckett had him on his show every 2 weeks, and he's like, I just think this guy's different. I think this guy, I've developed a relationship with him. He's doing my show. He comes on. He goes out of his way to talk about commitment and loyalty and a Coug, and I'm going to be here.
And the other thing is he talks about he has had a 10-year plan.
Yes,
I need to raise my kids here. And he talked about how when one of the other coaches left, his kids were all sad because they played with the kids all played together. And he had this 10-year plan he's been talking about. And he's been preaching loyalty. And then, of course, he's gone. And I don't have a problem with him leaving.
You don't?
Not him leaving. I have a problem with all the things he did, all the other stuff that he did. First of all, he's really not going to a better opportunity. He's going to the worst Power 5, Power 4 team in the country. Do you know when the last time a coach had a winning record there?
I listened to the show that you recommend, 1932.
1937, I think it was.
32, whatever.
That's the last time a coach has left there with a winning record. It's a train wreck.
So, and then this is my problem with him and all the coaches, but he really, really did a bad job.
He dug in really deep.
He did. Don't say any of that shit. Yeah. You don't need to say about the loyalty and the commitment. You don't need to say any of that. You don't need to say I'm never leaving. You don't need to say I love it here in my family. Don't say any of it.
Exactly. That's the problem. I don't even mind. We've talked about this many times on the pod where I don't really care if coaches lie because you care more about it than I do. Because I've said many times they all lie.
I know.
They're professional liars.
See, that's the problem. I got sucked into DeBoer.
But when you go to this extent, when you go to an Oscar-worthy extent on how loyalty and everything, and you're here for 10 more years, and
he's out after the practice. A day before he's gone. He's already knows he's gone. He's out after the practice talking about, we got the guys here. We had a great practice. We're just all committed. We're gonna, are you kidding?
And then he posts a picture of himself on a private jet on his way to Wake Forest with the family.
I
can't wait to get there. Something like that. It's like
that's why it was different than DeBoer.
Yeah, it was so tone deaf.
DeBoer did not stick it in your face.
Well, DeBoer at least finished the season.
That is true.
He finished the season. First of all this stuff, you should not be able to steal players or coaches till the season's over.
I agree.
It's a very basic rule they should have. But again, there is no rules in college football.
Should we listen to Jim Moore, the go-to guy?
100%.
He's the Coke. This guy lives and breathes. 76 years old, and he is more of a Coug than anybody I know. Honestly, even you.
Oh, that hurts.
Here's what he had to say.
And I don't think other Cougs are going to feel this way, but I guess maybe being an older Coug, and I'm just like, fuck it, man. Just fuck them all. Fuck everybody who had something to do with this, that put us in this situation. Everybody who's leaving, all the assistants, just fuck them all.
He's dead on. He's saying what everybody wants to say.
He is dead on, and he doesn't give a shit. That guy drives from Bend, Oregon to Pullman for freaking night games. He drove to the Boise game and scalped a ticket. Yeah. He's a diehard. He was on his way that recording that we just played you.
Yeah, he was in
Madras. He was on the way for the game.
Madras, yes.
He's on the way to the men's basketball game last night.
The other thing that I don't know if he complained about it or not, but I've noticed this for years. The only congratulations to Jesus right now, because that guy's getting more accolades than anybody ever. Haven't you? Everybody's I thank my Lord Jesus for this opportunity, but I'm leaving. Everybody on their social media, they're posting they talk. Oh, I'm going to be a Coug for life, and thank you, Jesus, for this opportunity. Jesus is like the winner in this whole thing.
I been saying this about every time they do an interview with a kid for years.
It's like, leave that stuff out. I mean,
I've said this about years, and now it's down at the high school.
Well, now it's
you interview with a high school kid. He's the player of the game, and the first person he doesn't thank his mother, he doesn't thank his parents, he doesn't thank his brother. He thanks God. He thanks this, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the other thing is that you don't need to go on social media and say, "Oh, I'm a Coug for life." But that being said, I'm leaving. You're not a Coug. When you leave to go to another school, you're not a Coug for life.
But the problem with all of these guys, even the kids should be coached this or whatever, just don't say anything. If you don't say anything, you're fine.
Yeah. Or just put, hey,
nobody's gonna kill you.
Loved it here. I'm moving on. Yeah. Blah blah blah. You don't need to.
You know what? Here's a novel idea. I got offered a lot more money.
I have more respect for that.
I'm doing it for the money.
Okay, so the other existential threat. Are you finally on board with agreeing with me that this is ruining college football? And are you finally?
How do you define ruining college football?
Like every single other sports writer right now, and media pundit and coach, everybody. Like I was listening to John Canzano or whatever.
Yeah,
he said it like 20 times. This is ruining college football. Are you finally on board with me?
I'm on board with.
Because you were like dug your heels in. You even brought like one of your buddies,
Rob Milliken.
Oh, it wasn't like Mark Hyland, Bob Kylan, one of those guys.
No, because Mark. First of all,
Mark's on my side.
Yeah, it's funny. I have actually a drop for that. You know what? This is it. This is Mark. This is what I feel about Mark. This is Mark Hyland talking. Producer Mark. And you agree with freaking Tim on everything. I hate you. This friendship's over.
That's beautiful.
That's my drop.
It's not that he agrees with me. He just agrees with the subject. That it's. By the way, he agrees with what everybody else in the world agrees with. Are you out of beer already?
Yeah.
So you even got you got who'd you get on?
Rob Milliken.
Rob, come on.
No,
you dug in so hard about how this is great for college football.
The problem. This is Tim, by the way, on our phone call.
Oh, for crying out loud. What are you doing?
Hey, you didn't have permission to record me. It's a two-party state here.
Oh, for crying out loud. What are you doing?
I'm going to use that so many times. Anyway.
But I'm glad you're finally coming around.
I know.
Because this is so off it is so off the rails now.
You know what? I've had a lot of sugar in the last 2 weeks, and it's not good. My doctor, Deshaun, is like, bro, you got to cut out the sugar.
What does that have to do with anything?
It has to do with this. I'm going to stay calm in this conversation.
That's no fun. Who wants that?
Okay, you have to. There's nuance involved to hear the argument. If you put the NIL, if you take the NIL, I know they all go together. I'm not saying they don't go together. They've impacted each other. Those are variables that have impact, right? There's contributory factors in them. Yes, but just a second. If you parse this out, the NIL is batshit crazy.
Thank you.
It is absolutely out of control. It has lost there's not even a freaking thread of the intent of the rule.
There's not even a thread of a regulation.
No, but the intent was not to have a bidding war and pay $3 million. I'm going to go back to this other thing. The people that are really the evil people here, who are these people paying millions and millions of dollars year after year? We've only had this rule since 2021. Who are these people?
No idea.
They're paying John Mateers. I love him. Great college quarterback. Really? Is he worth $3 million?
No. Keep in mind here, and one of my beefs with this whole thing is like somebody like WSU goes and recruits these guys that nobody else is recruiting. They're finding these gems out there. Nobody else was recruiting Mateer. Same with Cam Ward and all these other people. and they're developing them, and then anybody can come in and say, look at there's that John Mateer. We're going to take him. We got more money than WSU. He's ours.
Right.
How is that possible that they let this happen?
Oh, for crying out loud. What are you doing?
No other sport can you do. And any other sport, you got to you got to trade for that person or give them draft picks.
There's no governing body here.
There's zero.
I know. So I don't even know the solution. John Canzano, who's a big reporter down in Portland, has his own show and he's on the Puck Sports. He's like, Congress is going to have to get involved.
They might.
Yes, and I'm not against that. Somebody has got to put some reasonable rules in place here. The NIL is crazy. My only argument, and Rob Milliken's only argument, is if there are rules, okay, if there are reasonable, accountable requirements in timing, has to be changed, has to be reasonable and fair and equitable on the transfer portal, only the transfer portal, okay? In the big picture macro, not your Washington State Cougars, not the small schools, not the schools that are left behind, okay? In big picture, it should, because the disbursement of talent, it should create more parity in the big picture long run. Okay. That's it. That's the argument. That's it.
Okay, that's not an argument because that's not the way it is. You can't. If that was the way it is, I probably wouldn't be saying it's ruining college football. There is no guardrails. There is no.
I understand.
You don't get to say, well, if they had this, and this, it would be fine, because they don't.
I know they don't. I'm saying if they do put those things in.
But they weren't. They're not.
The other problem here, okay, is that the NIL is becoming more connected with the transfer portal. In the John Mateer case, you can go down the road. It's tied to these people are going to places because the money has gotten out of control. The other thing that's happened with the UNLV guy is who are these people with this money? These collectives. And are they actually paying it? Is there account receivables for the UNLV quarterback? He's like, you guys offered me $500,000, but you never paid.
Well, they didn't pay. He says they didn't pay him what they said. They paid him, just not. He said it wasn't enough.
Okay. The other part of this that's a huge part is the agents, so-called agents who are just actually like buddies, who don't have any accreditations, no training, no certifications. To be an NFL agent, you have to go through a lot of shit.
Yeah, Mateer wasn't even using an agent.
No, he used his like cousin or something.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is, what's stopping this from? Okay, the whole thing about college was they were amateur athletes. What is stopping that the NIL and transfer portal and going into high school next year or the year after?
Well,
that?
they talk
it's
about
going to
that.
happen.
I don't think they're not amateur. They're actually even the quote from the AD or the president of Wazoo or Washington State. Oh, our student athletes. And even the quote from Dick Boy was, oh, I can't wait to, the student athletes.
They're not student athletes anymore.
They haven't been for years.
Well, that's not necessarily the case. I mean
in certain, in football and basketball, they really haven't.
How so?
Because they're getting apartments, cars, like all their.
Well, they're not supposed to be getting cars. By the letter of the law, they were student athletes.
Yes.
Yeah. Some people was the system being rigged a little bit, yes, but for the most part, most of them were student athletes until now. They're professional athletes. That's the only thing college about this is the logo on the helmet.
Okay, but the other reality here, and this is Jason Puckett had to bring this up, okay? Whether you agree, disagree, whatever you think about it's the worst thing for college football, the frustrating part of it, the reality. Now we're in reality, Tim, okay? Are you with me?
No. This is not reality.
That was fair. That's a fair point for you. You stay true to who you are.
Exactly.
And where's the door? Is Mindy home yet?
Not yet.
Because
she's on my side on this.
I understand that. I'm thinking about a quick getaway after I say what I'm going to say. The point is, the problem is, yes, you have all these cockamamie bullshit, unbelievable shit going on. Crazy, and at the other side the consumer freaking is just lapping it up.
Oh, that's because we're idiots.
It loves it.
Well, that's because we're idiots. I told you if there was public executions, the ratings would be off the charts. People can't not watch a train wreck.
But I
okay,
cannot,
let's take a quick break. I don't know. You're going through the beer like crazy.
What's going on with you?
with me.
Oh, by the way, listener, see that? If you're watching on YouTube, this is called a bottle of beer. It's in glass.
I normally can't afford that.
Yeah, bougie boil. It tastes better than the can. Okay, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back.
We're gonna continue this because I got more. Oh, I've got more.
Oh God,
I got good stuff.
I'm tired of it.
Hey, you still listening? Because we're back.
All right, welcome back. Who's tired of hearing this topic? But go ahead. We have a few things to get to.
And by the way, for some reason, Scott's just down in the beers tonight.
You got me worked up.
Apparently, you're ahead of me, which is
it's a holiday
rare.
cheer.
It is a holiday. That's right. Oh, Alexa, continue.
Everybody's in their entire houses. We've set up that. Go ahead.
Okay.
While I belch.
If I was going to defend you in any way, shape, or form on this.
Wow. Hold on.
Just like we talked about on the break, I think where I can defend you is none of us had
Dickert.
About the whole thing. Nobody had any idea it was going to be this
true.
bad. This is so much worse than anybody thought it was going to be.
It's unknown territory, right? It's never happened. Nobody knows.
I think if it was going on right now and we had never had the argument, you wouldn't be saying it's great for college football.
But God, there is reality of what's happening. There are the things that in the reality that actually drive this. Yes, there are a lot of parts that are bad that are way worse than I ever imagined.
Agree.
And you know what? It's goddamn money, because there's apparently so much money in the world that these jackasses keep playing. They're going to keep paying millions of dollars for a freaking player.
Great segue. You're big into the parody, right?
I think that's good.
I think everybody's into the. I think everybody
good for the
is.
sport.
It is. Then why is there not a cap? There should be a salary cap on what you could pay these NIL players.
And I think I hope that's what's coming.
I don't know that it is, though, because there's no regulate. I mean, it's so far off the rails.
I agree, but that's where the big conferences and the networks that drive this, somebody's going to have to put a stop to this.
And I won't even get into this. A lot of this is ESPN's fault, but I won't even get into that.
It's Fox's fault and ESPN. It's because it's all driven by the networks.
Correct.
100%. I mean, anyway.
There's a couple solutions that we could fix this pretty easily, like overnight. This is not a real complicated problem.
No.
Okay, put a cap on this for each team's only got. I don't know what that cap is. 20 million, 15 million to pay their players.
It's got to be relative, right? So just keep in mind, like a Washington State's athletic department budget versus an Alabama or an Ohio State. Ohio State's $180 million athletic budget.
Yeah,
Washington
but whatever
State's
it is,
80.
Everybody's got to have the same cap.
Yes, you got to
it's
level.
Like I don't know
the NFL. It's the
is
NFL.
It 20 million, whatever that number is.
It's the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is, no way, shape, or form should you be able to grab people's players before the end of the year.
Totally agree.
Or coaches and players should be off limits till the end of the season.
I agree. Before this whole thing started, was coaches. What were the rules for coaches?
They
leave whenever they want.
Yeah, they pretty much could. Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so I'm with you. I agree.
But, yeah, you shouldn't be able to go grab somebody's coach when a lot of these teams are like in a bowl game and their coach is gone.
100%.
Same with Tennessee's in the playoff. They've got 8 players that have left on the portal.
Yeah.
And they're in the playoff.
But I agree. It's the same point.
Yeah. So they could do that. So if a team like Miami comes and grabs Cam Ward, or Oklahoma comes and grabs John Mateer, and they say, we're going to give you $3 million. Well, guess what? You're going to have to pay the school $3 million too. Whatever you're paying that player, you got to pay the school that too. It's like that's like almost like trading or a draft pick or whatever.
Make it like most organizations, right? If you get a signing bonus of a substantial amount, you have to stay for an X amount of time, 2 years or whatever.
Yeah, like
you can't. If you're going to take $3 million, you can't transfer the next year.
Exactly. Or if you're on a NIL deal, you got to play the whole season. You don't get to the bowl game and go, I don't feel like playing in the bowl game.
I agree.
It's like, and again, where does it stop? Why doesn't it stop at the conference championship or the game before that?
I agree.
I mean, where do they stop that?
I agree. The big thing is there's 2 other things. First of all, Dirty Dickert, whatever you want to call him, it's not what he. So you said you had to defend him on one thing.
Yeah.
What are you going to defend
The
him on?
only thing I could defend him on, he's looking at the handwriting on the wall going, okay, we just lost Mateer. Last year we lost Cam Ward. We lost our offensive coordinator. Go all the way down the list. We've got no conference. All these things that are happening to the school.
Totally, yeah.
It makes sense why he'd want to leave.
I understand.
But the way he did it is bad.
It's never what you do. It's always how you do it.
Correct.
There is no reason he had to go about doing it the way he did it. I told you I thought he was gone last year.
Yeah, well, he would have been, but he went on a losing streak and he didn't. His stock went down.
I wouldn't blame him for pulling the ripcord and getting the hell out of there.
I don't disagree.
What is going on?
But he's the guy. But again, he acts like he was this holier now guy that could never even dream of leaving Wazoo.
You know what? Jim Moore said this. If anybody is in the athletic department and knows where all his clothes are, go burn them or give them to Goodwill. They should. That guy is not welcome back in Pullman. I
totally agree.
So now you're going to hate on him?
Well, for different reasons.
What do you mean? Again, like you gave me shit for not. Debacle. I'm so happy he didn't make the playoffs.
Well, the difference is, again, we lost Dennis Erickson. Nobody hated on Dennis Erickson.
That's
leaving.
Probably because how he did it was the right way to do it.
Well, he lied too.
Really?
They all lie.
I know they're just.
But then Mike Price did the same. He actually. You can really compare it because he went to Alabama.
Yeah,
Mike Price got the Alabama job and then got set up on something. But nobody was mad at Mike Price for doing. Nobody was really mad at Lee.
It was a Robert Kraft situation for Mike Price.
The Cougs understand there's going to be better opportunities out there. With Dickert, it's just how he did it.
This is the prescription for Washington State University, which this poor school.
We've been through it. It's just nobody knows oppression like the Cougs and the Catholics
and the Jews. But I'm starting to get with you in that. But they have got to figure out some way to get to the Big 12 or get to the Big 10.
Big 12 would be better.
The Big 12 would be better, and they have to do it because this is all a major factor. They don't have the budget. They're not getting the money. They can't get the coach. They can't get the talent. This is a huge part of this, why they're getting poached.
The poaching part is just amazing. And I think they said it on Puck's podcast where what everybody's doing is they see the Cougs in Oregon State as very vulnerable and it's easy pickings. Oh, let's
100%.
go. Let's see what kind of talent is over at Washington State because all we got to do is offer them $5 and they're gone.
This happens in corporate America every single day.
Well, it's a little different in corporate America, but
but the sense is, there's a ship that's going down. They got some great talent. Let's go get them.
Yeah. It's expected in corporate America. It's never been expected in college football that you're allowed to just go poach everybody's player.
Staying on, do you want to talk Heisman?
The only thing I'm going to say about the Heisman is Genty was robbed.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it was
Travis Hunter was like 6th or 7th in the nation and as a wide receiver. He didn't even Genty not only led the nation, he basically has had one of the best years ever in history.
But he played 2 positions.
So okay. Well,
what are you doing?
Okay, so you're right. Colorado was very smart, and they created some new category called "How many snaps you play."
Oh, I love this.
That's never been a stat before in determining the Heisman. He's not even the best player on his own team.
Then why did he win? And
because the better marketing.
It was closer than 2009. Yeah. But Boise State didn't do shit for him for Genty.
So you're admitting that it's a marketing thing. You're admitting
no, I'm admitting that everything is a marketing thing. Actually, everything we do.
There shouldn't need to be any marketing in the Heisman Trophy.
Wait for the bonus section. I got a big marketing one.
But
again,
anyway,
I think it was an unfortunate situation that the timing was, okay? Should Michael Penix Jr., who we're going to talk about in a minute, should he have won? If Jaden Daniels wasn't a senior last year or wasn't his last year, Michael Penix would have won the Heisman.
He would have, but he wasn't the best player.
in that specific
He wasn't
year.
the best player.
I don't
Genty
think,
was the best player in college football, bar none. Most people agree with that, but
most people, well, who votes?
Well,
who are the voters?
That's because, again, the people that voted, Colorado did a better job marketing.
Oh, God.
They even sent these plush packets to all these writers.
What did the Boise State people say?
They didn't do it.
They didn't send
They
anything?
didn't do anything.
Then shame on them.
Well, then again, you're saying it's all about marketing.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying shame on them.
You shouldn't
have
to market.
Game.
You shouldn't have to market the
But
player.
everybody does it. Remember when, what's his face, the old Oregon quarterback?
I know he had banners on New York.
Yes, everybody does it. Come on.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying
I think that I would have been happy, and it would have been deserved by both players, whether Genty won or Hunter won. I think it would have been fine.
And by the way, Travis Hunter's girlfriend's a train wreck. Have you been watching her?
Yeah, she seems
Good
to
Lord,
be.
he needs to run away from her.
You know what? But let me give you a little shout out on Travis Hunter.
And she's an ex-stripper too.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I haven't got into that. I know Jason Puckett talked about he was late on that. But anyway, he's playing. They're all playing in the bowl game, right?
Yeah.
Shout out them. He's getting paid $1 zillion. He doesn't need to do that.
Well,
is he going to ruin
maybe
his draft
maybe
choices?
part of his NIL deal was he had to play in a bowl game.
I don't even think
know.
he barely gets NIL.
Oh, he's got Travis Hunter.
Yeah, but
he's driving around in like a $250,000 car.
He gave it away.
What do you do? Cash in his change?
No, he gave a lot to his other players.
So he's obviously getting a lot of money somewhere.
What I'm saying is, they're all playing in the bowl game.
That's great.
They're Bo Nixing it.
Yeah, they are. I love that.
God,
I love it.
Jesus, you're a pain in the ass.
Thank you.
I gotta play the drop again.
No, for crying out loud. What are you doing?
Oh, people are gonna get sick of that.
Okay, we gotta take a break. We'll come back. We gotta.
You're out of beer again.
I am. I'm good. We gotta switch to the National Football League.
Well, hello there. This is Squid Mondale, and you're listening to the Scott and Tim Sports Show.
All right, I lied. We're not going to the National Football.
What? We're not done with the NIL.
Because we got to talk about the college football playoffs, the greatest thing ever, and I think they should go to 16.
Of course you do, and then 24 after. Why not go to 24? After
I think.
that?
Well, I'd be happy with that, but I think they got to sit on 16 for quite a while.
16?
Yeah.
No,
I love 16. 16 is going to work for you.
There's going to be a controversy at 16 too.
It doesn't matter. There's this constant
too many.
controversy with 68.
They're already got like 3 lost teams in the college football playoff.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Who?
What's Clemson? Maybe they
not. No.
They only. Okay, Alabama was they were basically
there
in
is
there.
one 3-loss team.
Thank you.
Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson.
Did you say that?
I did.
Okay, let's talk about college football playoffs. Are you happy with the selection?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm glad Alabama didn't get in.
Why?
Because you hate Kalen DeBoer. No, I didn't think they deserved it. They lost to freaking Vanderbilt.
Have you heard that they're panning for money? They're like walking around
I
the
heard
streets of Tuscaloosa with
broke.
a basket.
Yes.
What a crock of shit.
Well, why is that a crock of shit?
You're Alabama. Did you see they spent $70+ million on a freaking locker room?
Yeah, they
and now they're asking for money.
The Kingdom was built for $77 million. By the way,
you know what I mean?
$77 million for the Kingdom, and a locker room. They spent $70 million on a locker room.
Basically,
what is? I mean, that's the fantasy package.
It's a really nice locker room.
Apparently, I'm trying to think what you could put in there. I mean, it's got like hookers and blow.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, just ask Mike Price. You were happy, obviously, Alabama.
Oh, I was absolutely
I was happy for different reasons.
The chutzpah to not put Alabama in was huge.
They didn't deserve to be in. Though.
I agree, they didn't.
I would have been fine if they deserved it, but you lose to freaking Vanderbilt. Come on.
But if you look at strength of schedule, which apparently that matters.
Well, it does, but you got to win those games.
The other thing funny is about SMU, which you've talked about, like they literally bought their way in.
Meaning what?
They don't get one dime from the ACC.
So how did they buy their way in?
They said, we don't need the money. We will fund this ourselves. SMU has so much money It's a private school. It's in Dallas, Texas. They said, you know what? We want to be in the ACC. Okay, well, we have a revenue share and whatever. They go, no, we don't need.
Why would they say that?
Because they don't need the money.
That doesn't mean you don't take the money.
They don't. The ACC is like, we can't afford to bring you on. They said, we don't need any money. And they said, okay, we'll bring you on.
They didn't want to give them the money. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
SMU, think about how long it's taken them to come back. They got the death penalty in like the 80s, right? After Eric Dickerson was there.
That's true. I think they could. Do you think they could beat Penn State?
Yes.
I do too. And
I actually think Arizona State's got, I think your team, well, I don't know. Are they your team right now?
Forkham Devils,
So they're in the playoff now. So now you're an alum.
Forks are up. Hey,
you forgot you were an alum.
If there's a bandwagon to get on, and I have a plausible, reasonable to get on it, I will get on it.
Scattaboo is just
he should have won the Heisman.
Oh, I thought Travis Ward should have won it, or Travis Hunter should have won it on every level.
Well, he should have, because he was the best player in college football.
Except for Genty and Scattaboo.
Mm-hmm. No, Scattaboo and Dilly Dilly. It's all about Dilly Dilly.
I actually think they got it. They can. I don't know how far they're going to go. I think they could win a game, though.
I do too.
Who do they have in the first round?
They're going to have. I don't have the thing up in front of me. I'm trying to look at the.
Or has SMU got no?
Yeah, very excited. All the faithful 48. They're all flying all over the country to go watch the Sun Devils.
And you don't even know who they're playing.
Well, they don't know who they're playing yet.
Yeah. Oh, they don't. Oh, did they get a bye?
Yeah.
Oh, they got a bye. That's right, because they won the Big 12.
They're the number.
Okay. They play the winner of
third or fourth spot.
I think they play the winner of. Do they play the winner of Penn State and
I think
SMU?
They do. I think that's correct. I have to look at. They don't have.
And Boise State ends up with a bye. Not only do they make the playoffs, they get a bye.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees. They gotta change that.
Because
you shouldn't get a bye because you won your conference championship. They should do it by the rankings. You should be seeded by the rankings. Boise State's the Mountain West.
They damn near beat Oregon.
They're living off that. The only reason they got there is because of that. I could be 100% wrong, but here's my hot take. I think they get the shit beat out of them.
We don't even know who they're playing.
I don't know who they're playing yet, but I bet they get killed.
Okay, we'll see.
I hope not. I'm rooting for them.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
I'm rooting for them. So, yes, you have SMU, Penn State, Clemson, Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State.
Ohio State.
I can tell you from the folks at the factory in Ohio, if Ryan Day doesn't win a national championship, he's fired.
Oh, you think he's fired if he doesn't win the whole thing?
Yes.
Even if he gets there and loses?
I am not talking to Ohioan. What's an Ohio person? Ohioan? Who does not despise Ryan Day. Well, they hate him.
He's got a chance to win because they're not playing Michigan.
That's true.
So there's that. I think Oregon's the cream of the crop, though.
I mean, but they barely beat Wisconsin.
But a lot of teams. Well, apparently that doesn't matter for Boise State, though, right?
Arizona State's the 4th seed. Boise State's the 3rd seed. So
Arizona's the 4. Okay.
And they got to go to Atlanta to play in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Boise State gets to play at Arizona at the Fiesta Bowl, which, by the way, they're playing all the clips of the greatest.
Oh, I know. I've been watching that.
Oh, God, that's fantastic.
You had that DVD. Oh, there's Mindy. You want to be on the pod?
Oh, my God.
She's gone.
Nurse Mindy. Oh, my God. She was like a freaking cat who got caught.
That's hilarious.
I wish we had that on camera.
I said, you want to be on the pod? And she's gone.
She ran. She just wants the dip and the chip.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We
got a little Twisted Sister in the background, by the way.
Nice. Should we turn the mics over?
Deck the Halls by Twisted Sister. Great Christmas song.
That is a good song.
It's a little D. Schneider, by the way.
Georgia. I see the fun about the 12.
Georgia. I don't think Georgia necessarily belongs. Dude, first of all, they should never have beat Georgia Tech.
100% agree. But that's on Georgia Tech.
Well, you can say that about anything.
I know, but that's the other thing. These guys can bitch and moan. Win the freaking game.
It took them 8 overtimes to beat them. And I'm not even exagerating.
No,
it was 8.
It was a great game. That was you
texting me on the plane.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, how's it? Do you remember your house? Because you've been here for like a week and a half.
I have been here for no. I got home last Thursday night at like midnight.
Okay.
So I've been home almost a week.
Who do you give the shot to? Because we aren't going to do a pod until. Who do you think's going to win the national championship?
I'm going to take Oregon.
I don't think so. I don't know if they can get there.
I like Arizona State too.
Oh, go Devils! I think they have a decent chance.
I haven't looked at the bracket, but I'm going to predict Oregon and Arizona State.
Wow.
Now they may not, that might be impossible because of whatever bracket they're in.
I think it's Oregon, Ohio State. God, I would go Ohio State for no reason, but their quarterback is He's bad.
Terrible.
You know what? I'm looking at the quarterbacks here of all
these
teams.
You need a great quarterback to get to the national championship.
In Oregon, that he had some Heisman
He's probably
votes.
Yeah. He might be. Oh, Miami didn't make the playoff.
They
right?
did.
And they didn't deserve it either.
And either did South Carolina, did Ole
Now,
Miss.
South Carolina, I thought, could have deserved it.
Yes. It was fun. I love the 12-team playoff. I think it's fantastic.
I am actually going the opposite. I want to go back to 1 versus 2.
Why?
Because that was great. That
because
means
you're against.
That means you have to actually win your games during the year. Unlike freaking these teams that have 3 losses and somehow are in the college football playoff. Last year you had freaking Florida State undefeated and couldn't make the college playoff.
That's because they sucked.
Well, they didn't. Well, that's because you know what happened to them? The transfer portal came and they lost 27 players and then ended up losing to Georgia.
Well, that's the coach's
63-0.
Oh, for crying.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
Am I having a little too much fun with that? You know what? I actually have another one that's just explains everything.
All right.
It explains absolutely everything. This one right here.
Show me the money.
Great movie, by the way.
Great movie. Okay. That's our college football playoffs. I think Oregon might have Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah,
he might be the best quarterback in the tourney. Other than you got the freshman, you got the Arizona State freshman who's been solid, who went to West Lynn. We missed calling his game by a year.
I think you might be right,
and that's what Ohio State has a shitty quarterback. Georgia's quarterback is terrible. Carson Beck. I'm sorry. Texas doesn't have a good quarterback. They don't like their quarterback so much they're going to start Arch Manning.
Are they going to start him?
That's what I think.
Because I heard they were going to start Ewers. By the way,
He's terrible.
Dylan Gabriel for Oregon. Yeah. You know what he drives for his car?
What?
He's got all this money. He drives a minivan. It's hilarious.
I love him.
And he's proud of it. He's like, because he
practical.
He can haul all his buddies around.
Exactly.
He loves it.
The SMU quarterback, which is escaping me, he's supposed to be sensational. He's a dual.
Oh yeah, I've actually watched him.
Yeah.
In their conference championship, he made a good comeback.
It starts tomorrow night, dude.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, Indiana tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, the snow. Hopefully it'll be snowing.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we done with college? Because we'll take a break. We'll come back. We do have to talk to the NFL. Kirk Cousins. Wow. Nice job out of you.
He wins a game and then they bench him. Kind of like, hey, Justin Fields knows all about that. He was 4-2 and they benched him.
How does $180 million and you hold a clipboard? How's that sound?
How about you win a game, they're paying you $180 million and they bench you?
Show me the money.
Hi, this is Diana from Cebu City, Philippines, and I'm listening to Scott and Tim's Sports Show.
Why do I just get so happy?
Oh, for crying. What are you doing?
Welcome back. That is never going to get old to me. Ever.
Well, I'm glad something entertained you.
Oh, shit. My beer's somewhere.
Where'd you put
Where's my beer?
Go get it.
I got one. Where did I put it? I did. Hold on. I'll be back. Start the National Football League, will you?
All right.
What are we going to talk about first? You want to talk about the Seahawks?
I think we got to go Seahawks first.
Okay.
Scott's on a little bit of a binge right now. I don't know what's going on in his personal life, but he's out drinking me tonight, which is very rare. Truth be told, the first one he usually has way down before me, and then I catch up to him on like number 2.
Everyone should be very worried.
I am a little worried.
We just had a great visit from Nurse Mindy.
We couldn't get her on the pod.
No, we tried.
She wants nothing to do with it.
She literally ran out of the room.
She totally ran out.
Like, I'm not exaggerating. Okay, the National Football League. Seahawks.
Debacle. They were, by the way, Sam Howell, how can he possibly be a NFL quarterback? Well, that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen.
Yep.
His QBR was 3.3. 3.3. I could do better than that.
We just went. This is the Seahawks versus the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football, and Gino shat the bed as usual. Did you notice, listener? Because we teed you up for this. Another interception in the red zone.
Oh, completely. That's his 6th on the year. I think we were off by what did we? Because that was his 6th one.
4th, yeah.
I think it was his 5th because that was his 6th. Unless he had 2 on.
I was trying to give him a better.
You were. God, he's terrible. The Seahawks are terrible in the red zone. He's
Not
terrible.
Good.
They cannot run the ball to save their lives. You know what, Kenneth Walker?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Go ahead.
So Mike Farrell out of the Seattle Times, he did it in complete comparison. How is the Seattle Seahawks this year better or worse or the same as last year? They have run exactly about the same.
It's a slightly worse though.
Like barely. Their yards per carry and yards per game is literally the same.
Oh, I'm thinking in the red zone.
Because no, not the red zone. Yeah. I'm just saying overall they're running the ball about the same as they did last year.
But in the red zone, it's worse.
Oh, they're terrible in the red zone.
You know what Kenneth Walker's average yards per carry
when
is?
He plays or doesn't?
In the red zone. When he plays? Obviously.
Charbonnet's got an injury too.
So do you take a guess at his average yards per carry? 0.08.
Is that good?
I'm thinking not. No, excuse me. Negative. It's negative 0.08.
That's one of the things I don't like about him.
And Charbonnet's only just barely better. It's like one.
These guys are.
It's like 0.01 or something.
Okay, these guys are dancers. The one thing I don't like about them is they dance. They dance too much. They sit there and try and juke and blah.
Well, it works for Barry Sanders.
Well, they're not Barry Sanders. There's only one.
Apparently not.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's only one Ashton Genty.
True. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, they need to be more like Marshawn Lynch.
Yes. When you get the ball, just go. Hit the hole. Anyway, the Seahawks were an embarrassment, as usual, on national television.
Oh, they were really an embarrassment when Gino got hurt. Gino was already playing bad.
Horrible.
I didn't think there could be any worse until Sam Howell got in.
That is true.
Did you see what he was like 15 attempts and he had like 1 yard of passing.
How many
he got sacked like every time he went back. He was getting sacked or almost getting sacked.
We basically saw Gino get sacked almost every single time, especially on 3rd down, and we saw him getting sacked.
Yeah, well, Howell was worse. And by the way, Gino took over right from where Russ was on the 3rd down sacks.
Oh, 100%.
You can almost predict it. If they're down in like scoring position, he's going to take a sack on 3rd down and knock us out of field goal range.
Again, I'm not trying to, I think the second most important position on the football team is the center. Okay. Oluwatimi went out. What happened?
Oh, they were terrible.
Bad shit happened. I'm telling you that.
Now that we, at one point, we had our backup center and our backup quarterback at the same time. It was not
Sam
good.
Howell was the quarterback for the Commanders last year, the entire year. He tore up the Seahawks. Like, the guy knows what he's doing. I'm not a fan. Give me the lock. Give me the hose back.
Too late. We got rid of him.
Anyway, this other debate on sports radio and also on Puck and whatever. This just, it's like, guys, what are we going to do with the Seahawks? You're not going to pay this guy, Geno Smith. You're not going to pay him $55 million a year. Are you kidding me?
What are they going to pay him? What is he worth?
I think, again,
30?
You said 25 to 30.
Yeah.
Puckett said around 25 to 30.
Okay, we're in the same ballpark.
Yeah, you're in the same ballpark. It said 25, but okay, 30, I'd live with it. I don't like any of that.
I think he thinks he's worth more.
1,000%. His agent's going to prove that by the numbers. So I think there's dumb enough teams out there that'll pay him $50-some million.
So you think he'll be gone by next year?
I do.
Because otherwise, yeah, the only option is they pay him what he wants.
$38 million is cap hit
for next year.
Yeah. I think they should just bite the bullet, find somebody in the draft, pay him nothing, spend all the money on the offensive line and defensive line, and gazai. You hope and pray.
I don't disagree with that. So, or you could go after somebody like Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but because of the year, Sam Darnold's he's going to be expensive. He's going to probably
I don't know
he's going to be over $25 million.
You think? Yeah, maybe.
Because he lit it up this year.
Go after Minshew.
Oh my God. By the way, I'm looking into this investigative reporting. I think Sam Darnold, he might have gotten a hand extension.
Whatever happened to Kenny Pickett?
Whatever happened?
Wasn't he Mr. Small Hands?
He was
too?
Small Hands.
Yeah.
He's on some roster somewhere.
Did Pittsburgh let him go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Pittsburgh.
Do we? Mike Factor, I apologize, by the way. Mike Factor sent me a note.
What?
Because I accidentally said Mike Fowler.
Oh, you did.
Because we're a Steelers podcast. What? Speaking of the Steelers, what?
What do
they
we
lost.
Think? They did. So FFR's what? 4-2, 5-2. They lose again this week. His record's basically going to be about the same as.
He had one good pass.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Who they got a big? I think they got a big game this weekend.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't remember who.
Is it the
big.
Ravens again?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm rooting against him, as you know.
Of course you are.
Thank you for all your text messages, everybody, on FFR. It makes me happy just to see FFR come through the text chain.
Okay, speaking of people that are going to demand a lot of money, how about the first ballot Hall of Famer, Brock Purdy?
Yes, he's going to get
next year. They're going to have to pay him, right?
He is going to get a bag.
He should be the way the contracts go. He should be the highest paid player next year.
Yes,
not that he necessarily is the best player, but that's just how contracts work.
He's a Hall of Famer,
first ballot.
So. By the way, what is going on in the NFC West for those that care? What is going on with the Rams? Are the Rams back?
All of a sudden, the Rams are legit.
Are the Rams back?
I think so.
So the Niners are dead and the Rams are back. Is that where we are?
Yeah. And by the way, the Rams will be in first place after this weekend because there ain't no way we're beating Minnesota.
Well, I will be at that game.
You will.
I'm actually
thanks for the invite, by the way. We talked about this off the air.
You're welcome.
He had 4 tickets, and apparently I'm not one of the.
I got 4 people in the family. Who'd you want me to kick out?
You got the wife that's never even been to a football game in her life.
That was the one that I was like, okay, this might go to Tim.
I was kind of on call. I guess.
But before I could even go there, she chimes in on the text message. It's like, yeah, this would be great. My first professional football game. She's all jacked up.
You need me to call her?
You know what? I did have a potential. This is another question I had.
Okay.
Why don't we like hockey better? Because I did have a possible Kraken ticket that kind of came and went.
I don't know. I've only got so much sports enthusiasm to spread around, and I don't know if I can give any to hockey. That's really my issue.
Really?
Don't you think? I mean, that's my issue. I don't know if that's your issue. It's football season. I've really got to give all my enthusiasm, my anger, my emotion, my heartbreak.
Yeah.
I got to give it all.
And you've got a lot of that this year.
I do. So I just don't know if I have it to give the Kraken. But I hear their games are fun.
But you have never been to a Kraken game, correct?
No.
Okay. Well, shout out Simon Smith. We're efforting, as they say. We're efforting to get you to
I'll go
to a game. You'd love it.
I'd go. I'd go
love
for
it.
sure. They serve beer there?
They do. Okay. Seahawks. So the interesting thing about the Mike Varell thing, swinging back to this, is they're pretty much the same team they were last year.
Yeah, it looks. There's
some slight differences.
There's a lot of Pete Carroll flair
involved,
and a lot of you watch these games and you're like, is Pete Carroll back or something?
It is deja vu. Unbelievable. Should we talk about Kirk Cousins getting benched?
Yeah, what do you think of that?
It's like deja vu. Doesn't he always get benched?
He does, but here's my issue with it. for Michael, you know how I feel about quarterbacks and the rookies. I almost wish they just hold Penix off, give him a full year.
Yeah.
Give him a full year to develop and then put him in and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. They're kind of putting me in a bad space here. Why are they benching Kirk Cousins? I mean, they got a shot in that horrific division, AFC South, to actually win the division.
Yeah, and they're coming off a win. It's rare to see quarterbacks get benched coming off of a win.
Is he hurt though? Do we
no,
think he's hurt?
No, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he's not hurt. But it's just how many times do you see a quarterback benched off a win?
Not very often. But I don't love the move for some various reasons, but it's just like you're the Falcons. It's Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is going to Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
he's going to play well enough to maybe make the playoffs, and that's about it.
I mean, he's gonna be like Derek Carr. Derek Carr is gonna Derek Carr.
It's razor thin. If you put Derek Carr against Kirk Cousins, one costs $180 million, one costs about $20 million. Other than that, it's the same guy.
Well, and that's the other thing is you're benching $180 million quarterback that you just signed. So I don't know. I'm not sure I'm on.
Are you gonna watch the Aaron Rodgers Netflix movie?
What is that? What is the deal with it? Probably because I'm an.
Are you really? Are you really gonna watch that?
I think so.
Are you kidding me?
Why wouldn't I? It's football.
It's not. It's him high on ashwagandha or some cockamamie thing.
Well, is he going to go in his dark room for 3 days?
Yes, and they filmed it all.
That ought to be be good film.
Great television. Okay, we're cranking through the topics here. Dan Campbell. Okay. To onside kick or not onside kick. The higher wire act that
was
is
stupid.
So dumb.
It was the dumb. Okay, and again, I've said this many times. I love aggressive play.
Yeah.
I love aggressive play.
We got to be aggressive. We got to be aggressive. Do you?
Well, not in that situation. No, he had the fourth quarter almost just started. He had 3 timeouts left, so they pull within 10. What are the? You know what the odds of getting an onside kick are in the NFL? Almost 0.
5% maybe.
Yeah. So 95% chance you're not getting that. So I just don't understand why he's doing. And then it cost him a touchdown by doing it.
Yep. He actually in his post game press conference was like, you know what? Love to have that one back.
Yeah. Do you think?
He went off on a local radio station. Did you hear that?
No.
Oh yeah, he went off. Basically, he's just firing everybody up. He's like, we read our own stuff. We got used to fillets. We got to go.
Oh
back
yeah, I did see that.
You know, eating stale bread and all that kind of stuff. You got to love the guy.
No, I do. I think we talked. If I was starting a team and had to pick a coach, he'd be the guy I'd pick.
Okay.
How about Bill Belichick?
Yes. Can we talk about Bill?
Yes. So
I did a great.
Is that where his girlfriend's going to school right now? Doesn't she have a dorm there?
Did you hear
or something?
my Puck Sports voicemail last week?
No.
I was Belichick.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't hear it.
This is Bill calling, and there's just a lot of talent in UNC. I've been here on the UNC campus for about a week, and there's just so much talent. Now I'm going to fire every football player there is, but there's a tremendous amount of talent.
Well, the joke is his girlfriend going to school.
Yeah, she's like 26 or something.
Is she that old?
I don't know.
I thought she was like 20.
That's ridiculous.
What is he doing? What is she? Well, obviously, we know what she's doing.
Money, fame.
No. I thought she was after him because he's like a bodybuilder and good looking and the way he dresses.
Hey, you know what? Remember the great pharmaceutical pill, the Belichick?
Yes.
Take a Belichick, call me in the morning. I thought that was a great line.
That was.
I get it now, though.
What?
The whole Belichick and going to UNC.
Oh, you know what he's doing? He's setting his kid up to be the coach.
Well, yeah, he's going to be the defensive coordinator.
That's what Tony Bennett did at WSU.
He put it in the contract.
Yeah, that his kid was taken over.
But don't you love that the athletic director? Did you watch his press conference by any chance?
Did he actually say something?
He said a couple things. Bubba Cunningham is the athletic director of UNC.
Bubba Cunningham.
Nice. Fantastic. Perfect. Like the casting director did a great job there. Yeah, basically, you got the salary cap, you got all the professional shit, you got basically the NFL, and he's going to come in and he's going to.
There is no salary cap.
I know, but he thinks there's going to be one because
Belichick does.
Yeah.
Oh,
so he thinks he's hiring Mike Lombardi, all his old people from the Patriots. But you know what people are not remembering?
That Brady has one more year of eligibility.
Well, what is he going to bring back? Brady and Edelman?
Well, and Gronk.
And Gronk? No.
Everybody's got like apparently unlimited eligibility now. You saw the new court ruling, right?
Yes.
The junior college, you could be there for 2 years.
Yeah, the Vanderbilt quarterback.
There's 8-year seniors now. Yeah.
Whatever. The point here is that Belichick wasn't good after Brady left.
No, he didn't. He was terrible.
He's the greatest quarterback, and he's got 7 national or Super Bowls.
6. Brady's got 7. Belichick's got 6.
Okay. The point is he going to be good?
I don't know. I don't think you saw, like you said, after Brady left, he was not a good coach. So we'll see.
Can he relate?
But I think the thing is he doesn't want to go because he kind of went down in flames a little bit, got fired, never won a playoff game after Brady left.
Then nobody wanted to hire him.
Yeah, nobody wanted him. So I think he didn't want to go down in flames like that.
This is all about his ego and pettiness. Think? Yes.
Well, and it's also about getting his son is going to take. He's got it in the contract. His son's
the Washington guy.
So my question is, does he have the energy to do this? Because college is I think it's a whole different energy level with all this crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, but he's going to have minions do it all.
Okay.
He's
just going to be the figurehead. He's going to be Joe Paterno.
Exactly. Let's hope not fully, but
he's not the one that did it.
Okay. You got anything else? I might have drank too much.
Well, you did have like 3.
Okay, the Seahawks are last. Dan Campbell's a moron, but we love him. Penix is going to start. Before we get to bonus, Juan Soto signed a $760 million.
How is that possible?
Deal with the Mets.
I still remember vividly when I was in college and Canseco signed like a $3 million a year contract, and everybody was going outraged about it. And I still remember Jose going, "This is nothing. This is you're only gonna be mad till the next guy signs, basically." And
he never lies.
He doesn't. He actually. Well, we've got proof of that with his book. It's all true. We never knew he was the most honest man in baseball. But I remember him making $3 million a year, and now he got Soto signing for $700 and some million for how many years?
I don't know. I love all the stories about why he signed with the Mets versus the Yankees.
Yeah,
it's hysterical.
What was he's like pissed at the Yankees and
because one was they didn't give him a suite. He wanted the suite paid for. All of these just ridiculous things. I don't know if any of them are true. I don't believe any of them actually.
He wanted a suite for
He wanted a suite at Yankee Stadium paid for, like anytime he wants, which they do. But even Jeter paid for it. What they do is they discount him, and then Jeter paid for it. Many players have paid for it at a discounted rate,
so they can put their family members. There.
Yeah, they want their family. They want everybody in there. The other great thing, though, David Sampson, who was the former president of the Marlins for years in MLB, and then he worked for I think he previously worked in the Red Sox front office. He has these great stories on Pablo Torre Finds Out about this. This is just makes all the sense in the world. How the biggest gripe he had when he was running the Marlins was the players and the travel secretary would come to him because all the married baseball players had to have rooms and tickets for their girlfriends.
For their girlfriends, not their wives.
No, because they had to be on separate floors at the hotel. They had to get seats far enough away that it wouldn't be close to the wives.
So they'd be there at the same time?
Absolutely. The plane, they had to make sure they're on separate planes. They couldn't go charter because they couldn't be on with the wife and the kids. They had to bring in at separate times. They had the separate entrances and exits and all this other stuff.
And they all covered for this.
100%.
Incredible.
And this is like common. He said it was he basically had to put a policy in place. Okay, he said.
Who said this?
This is David Sampson, former president of the Marlins for many years, and he was in front offices. He had to put a policy the player had to show him a wedding certificate. He needed a document that he was actually married, the players. Because he goes, I got to have my wife with this. Got my girlfriend's coming and my wife. It was unbelievable.
What would showing him a document do?
He needed to know that the girlfriend needed to be on a separate floor and a separate plane, a separate thing. It's like, you got to show me that you're actually really married. Otherwise, I'm not doing all this stuff for these girlfriends.
I see.
And then he said how the girlfriends would be pissed because they wouldn't have the right armband to get into the green room and the suites and the back room locker rooms and all this other stuff. They'd be up in the 300 level and pissed.
You would think that, say what you want about wives, but they're pretty smart. You'd think that they'd figure this out at some point, that this was going on.
Foxworthy was on the show with him, and he goes, "Yeah, this happens all the time. Same thing in the NFL. All these wives and their girlfriends."
Wow,
unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. Okay,
speaking of loyalty and all that stuff that we were talking about earlier. That's nice.
Isn't that heartwarming?
It is.
When you have billions of dollars, that's what happens. Okay.
Bonus.
Mariners, there's really nothing to talk about. The winter meetings.
They've done nothing.
Did nothing. Castillo,
they keep saying absolutely nothing.
They keep threatening they're going to trade Castillo for nothing.
Well, isn't that pretty much what the Mariners do?
Yeah, and they're dead to me.
They always trade everybody for nothing.
I have zero interest.
They trade for these bats that you've never heard of.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
They're trying to go after some Japanese pitcher they might not get. So,
because that's what we need.
That's your Mariner talk. We'll come back with bonus right after this.
All right.
Hello, this is Timothy B. Boyle, and you're listening to the Scott and Tim Sports Show. And I apologize.
This is Mark Hyland talking, producer Mark. And you agree with freaking Tim on everything. I hate you. This friendship's over. Welcome back.
Love it.
Bonus time. It's bonus time. Tim, do you got anything?
I'm going to let you go first.
Yes, you are, because you don't have anything.
I might have something.
No, you said earlier you don't
I said
have anything.
I might.
Did something come out?
Something came up.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you go downstairs and find it?
I did.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You tell me what you got.
I have first one. If I told you, speaking of marketing earlier,
yeah,
Santa Claus is literally the greatest marketing stunt of all time. Would you believe me?
Yeah, I'd probably say that's commercial. Yeah, I would say that. Probably.
Did you know one of your favorite brands literally created Santa Claus?
One of my favorite brands. Coors Light? Coors Light created Santa Claus?
Close.
Well, their mountains are, they do the mountains and the snow. And
Close. You're very close. You're warm. Coca-Cola. So before this, you had Saint Nick and you had all these stuff and Kris Kringle, but that was actually a thief for going down. Again, as stories tell, I looked this on the internet, so it has to be true.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But the catalyst.
Did you go down a rabbit hole on the?
Yeah,
on the
I tried Chat GPT to chatty. By the way, she probably a he, because dumber than a box of rocks.
Who?
Chat GPT.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Anyway, but the truth is that Coca-Cola was killing it in the summer, right? They sold all their stuff in the summer. It was refreshing. They had nothing for the winter. So they're trying to come up with something to sell soda, right? Coca-Cola in the winter.
Okay.
So they hired this artist, and this is based, they kind of pieced it together, Kris Kringle with the bag. So there is actually a thief. Like the whole stories and the fables were actually a thief going down your chimney, stealing stuff. They took that, they created the figure that we now know as Jolly Saint Nick and Jolly Santa Claus with the big belly and the red suit. That was all created in 1931 by Coca-Cola.
Really?
Yes.
So before 1931, they really didn't use the term Santa Claus?
No, Santa was kind of used, but it wasn't not what we think of it today. The big belly, the beard, the good guy, right? The happy guy, the good guy comes down the chimney, gets cookies. All of that was created by Coca-Cola. And it helped. They needed something for holiday, and it helped them sell Coca-Cola.
And they should be getting like, royalties for that.
Oh, I think they're doing just fine.
Yeah, I think they are too.
Don't you like Don't you like Diet Coke? Isn't that?
Oh yeah, that's my drink. Yeah,
that's why I said that.
Yeah.
They,
that Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it, right?
Yeah. I have not one but two bonus sections.
Oh, good. Let's hear it.
Have you been on Netflix lately? Have you watched any of the holiday Christmas?
I have.
Like, they're so cheesy, terrible movies.
Oh yeah, I got one for you.
Well, guess who's back?
Who?
Lindsay Lohan.
Was she really?
She's in like 4 holiday Netflix movies.
You're kidding me.
No, we watched one the other night.
Was it any good?
It's terrible. It's the same formula.
So,
but you know what? Glad to have her back.
Interesting. So she all of a sudden she's in like 4 of them.
She's seriously like in all these movies.
She's like impossible to work with, right? That's why she hasn't gotten like movies.
Maybe
and stuff.
She's changed. I don't know.
Maybe she has. We watched one that has to be the stupidest Christmas movie we've ever started to watch.
Oh, fantastic.
It was number 1 on Netflix. Of
course it was.
It was called Hot Frosty.
Oh, hey now.
It had to literally been Frosty the Snowman comes to life.
Like a GQ Frosty?
It's like Frosty comes to life, and he comes to life as some hot dude. I had to stop watching quickly.
You do have...
Even my wife was like, okay, this is horrible.
But it's number 1.
It was number 1 in Netflix.
And there you go.
Yeah.
That
it's like, how can this be number 1?
That explains everything we've talked about.
I guess the public service announcement here is, do not pay attention to what's number 1 on. It could be the worst movie of all time.
Wait a minute. For years, Cobra Kai is number 1. For years.
But that's different because it stayed number 1. It had some lasting power. I think Hot Frosty was like number 1 for like 5 minutes. And we just happened to catch it right when it was number.
The name alone is just
It
genius.
sounds like we were saying. It sounds like it should have been a porn.
Yeah, exactly.
Good Lord.
It's like Stripper Frosty.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
But it was made out to be like it was a Hallmark type, Hall of Fame type movie.
Now you have the girls back in the house here, but does everybody like the Hallmark Netflix cheesy bad movies?
No, not necessarily. We don't really watch the Hallmark Christmas. We watched all the classics. Like we did watch 4 Christmases, by the way.
Oh, how was that?
You know which one that is?
That's a good
with
one.
Reese. That's a good one. We watched The Holiday. We really haven't
Holiday's
watched The Holiday's so good.
So good.
We haven't really watched a lot. I'm not home, as you know, as you remind me.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So
interesting.
We're way behind. Like how Mindy was saying, we're way behind on everything. We've watched like 2. Have not watched Christmas Vacation. I got the whole theme here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm concerned about Nurse Mindy. With her Christmas, she seems stressed out. She's behind. She doesn't know how it's going to all happen.
Apparently, we spent too much time watching Hot Frosty, and we should have been like doing Christmas stuff.
What did you ask for Santa? Do you have a big gift going for Santa?
I really don't.
More miles?
Huh?
More miles?
More miles. Oh, we got to talk about the miles. We haven't
talked about your miles. You hit 100,000. Congratulations.
No, I haven't. Okay, so we're gonna have to take.
I'd like a 22-ounce Coors Light, please.
So we're gonna have to ask the audience here, and you're gonna have to get some texts. We had the bet that I was gonna make 100,000 miles.
Yes.
Well, technically, I didn't. I finished the year at like 98.5.
Which is just, and you never called. You never called.
I ended up having to buy some miles.
Yeah, but I'm pissed at you about that.
To get to 100K. So who wins the bet, me or you? I'm going to be at 100K, but I had to buy the miles.
And you were at 98.5, and the only reason you weren't is because some weird ass trip to Sacramento that should have never happened. And then you were going to go to Kalispell, and that
that didn't happen. I know I should have been there, but I wasn't.
So technically, you're right. This is a gray area.
It is a gray area.
We have to take
who owes who.
We have to take this to committee.
We do. We're gonna have to ask our listeners. I don't know. I think I kind of feel like I won the bet because I didn't make it.
Yeah, but you did make it
by having to buy some miles.
Well, that was a good deal.
Not really.
It was a lot cheaper than flying.
It was, actually.
You could have just taken a down and back to Phoenix.
And by the way, you can't really just buy miles. I had to do some scam where Alaska has the scam where if you donate to like your carbon footprint or something, which I would never in a million years do.
You couldn't play in delays?
Couldn't what?
Like delay hours? You were delayed like 47 hours.
I know, but they don't care about that.
Oh, they don't care. Alaska, poor Alaska. They're too big.
They are too big now.
They're too big.
Well, and they did just buy Hawaiian too.
Yeah. You have any big trips planned for the holidays?
No, staying home.
Okay.
Next trip is I got boring stuff. I got SHOT Show in Vegas, and I got to go to Dallas.
Well, you got to get through the 27 Christmases.
I do,
which is the boils.
We start Friday or Saturday.
All right. Oh my God, I didn't. Jesus, I brought this.
Oh, there you go.
For the YouTube,
because it is the holiday.
I do have my Santa
edition.
hat on, and hold on, I got more props here. Watchers.
Oh,
this is the half.
That would be a half menorah.
Half
for those
menorah is on screen right now. The one I gave to Tim, which was one of the funniest gifts I've ever given in my entire life to anybody.
I still put it out every year.
This is one of the funniest bits of all time.
Gotta love it.
You got to give a half menorah to only a half Jew, and that's you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy everything to everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to all our listeners that stuck with us. I don't know why.
I don't either. And I want to thank all the sponsors we couldn't get and the guests we never asked. Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody. Happy holidays.